Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome to Rock Gamer, your number one stop for all things Rock Band 4, Guitar Hero Live, and Amplitude related. And it's time for the weekly recap where I highlight all of the week's past news in case you guys missed it and just summarize it for you in a nice little video. So let's talk about the Guitar Hero Live news of the week, or the lack thereof news. We didn't even get a track list Tuesday. For the last couple of Tuesdays, we've been getting new tracks being announced. This Tuesday, we got nothing. But remember, next week is E3, and Activision has already promised there will be a ton of Guitar Hero Live announcements, including new songs, new features, and I think you're going to see a big push on Guitar Hero TV being announced too. We'll get an understanding of exactly how that feature is going to work, whether you have to pay for it, and how often it'll be updated. That basically does it for the Guitar Hero Live news. Let's turn now to the Rock Band 4 news. So the Rock Band 4 news, with some really great news we had from PlayStation Access, is that they did a great in-depth look at the new instruments. And just to summarize what some of the things we learned about the new instruments, for the PS4, the guitar and the drums both only require two AA batteries instead of three like the previous generation of instruments. They have about a 40-hour battery life on them. The other thing we learned is that they all connect through wireless technology, through Bluetooth. The microphone is still hardwired, but the drums and the guitar, you just plug it in through Bluetooth wireless technology and you're good to go. You don't need a dongle at all. So if you're ever trying to buy instruments, it'll be much easier. You don't have to worry about people not selling or losing the dongle. The other thing we learned too is that the Rock Band 4 instruments are not compatible with old versions of Rock Band 3. So if you're really unhappy with Rock Band 4, sorry guys, you can't go back and play Rock Band 3 with the new instruments. The other thing we learned too is that the Mad Catz Pro cymbals may not be available at launch. In an interview with one of the Mad Catz representatives, he said if it's not available at launch, it should be shortly after. And he also hinted that the Ion drum kit may not be supported at launch either. That is yet to be confirmed by Harmonix as well. The other information that broke yesterday was basically a leak on Amazon in the UK. They accidentally posted the pre-order info for the band bundle, and they listed a release date of October 6th, which is what my sources, inside sources, have told me too. It's October 6th we'll be seeing the game launch. The other thing they also released was the price of the game in Britain. It will be 208 British pounds for the bundle, which if you do the math is about 320 US dollars. Now before you guys freak out, you have to remember that Europeans typically pay more value-added tax than us in North America do. So I think we'll probably see the band bundle for about 200 to 250 at retail, which I think is pretty on par with what we've seen in the past. And the other thing that came out today is that apparently another leak through Mad Catz's website is that Rock Band 4 will support freestyle guitar solos. So you'll be able to improvise some way and do like freestyle guitar solos, and that'll basically be the guitarist's way of putting his own mark on the song. It kind of begs the question in terms of what the bassists are going to get to do. Is I wonder if the bass is going to be the only instrument that doesn't have the improvisational feature like the other instruments do. The other thing that also made news is that Harmonix is also teaming up with Project Oculus for the Xbox One. They didn't really reveal too much. They just said they're listed as one of the developers working with the virtual reality technology. Perhaps it could be something we'll see down the road as an add-on to Rock Band 4 after the game comes out. That's what I feel it'll be. Or it could be just a completely brand new game as well. I'd like to know what your guys' thoughts on this week's news are. If you guys want to check out my predictions for what we'll see at E3 for both Rock Band 4 and Guitar Hero Live, check out the annotation boxes and you can check it out there. We also had some Amplitude news come out today. There was another batch of songs announced. Now these songs I'm not familiar with. I'm assuming these are Harmonix bands. One was C418 All the Time. The next one was Dan Baranowski, Cryptique. The next one's Darren Cobb, Impossible. George and Jonathan Crystal, Jim Guthrie, Forcequit, Kodomo, Red Giant, Symbian Project, Concept. So that's another set of 7 songs that have been announced for Amplitude. And thanks for watching, guys. And if you guys want to stay up to date on all things Guitar Hero Live, Rock Band 4, and Amplitude related, click the subscribe button.